Senate members and majority leaders. We wanted to put this video together for you so that you'll have some resources and information that you can refer back to from time to time if you have any questions. So take the opportunity to watch the entire video to the end. So I just wanted to give you this first slide to help you to understand that there are 34 of you around the districts, one junior, one senior from each of the high schools, and then you are to reach out to the entire student body, and we do that through, we called it an ambassadors council, or they did it at Pikeville High School, but you can call it whatever you want to, but you're reaching out to the class officers, the captains of any extracurricular teams or clubs, and then presidents of clubs to bring that student body together to review the student survey data that you collected to identify what the initiatives are for the year for you as well as the entire student body to help with academics, attendance, behavior, as well as school culture and community service in your particular high school area. So I hope those meetings are going well with the student body. I'm very interested to know, and I've got a slide later in the PowerPoint. We want to hear from you. Initially, we talked about having our holler boys come to your school to do little snippet kind of videos to post to identify what the activities or projects are in your building, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So what I want to do before we go any further is introduce both folks that are sitting here with me. To my right is Bernadette Carpenter, who is the manager and overseer of the Firesummit. And our Student Senate members and our students are always a big part of the Firesummit. So I want you all to know that Bernadette is our contact and our keeper of the keys for the Firesummit. So I've included her email on this slide here at the bottom. She's bernadette.carpenter@mcgofin.kyschools.us. So any questions that you have, that I'm not able to answer, or questions that you want to know about, Bernadette can help us out with the Firesummit. In addition to that, Andrew Castle, who is on my left, his email address is also on this slide. It's andrew.castle@johnson.kyschools.us. Andrew is our technology fella, and he has agreed to come on and help us, our Student Senate, with initiatives and activities, because many of the activities that you guys are involved in include technology in some way. But I just wanted you to officially meet Mr. Andrew Castle and Mrs. Bernadette Carpenter and know that these folks are resources for you. So there's their email address, and if you have any questions in any way, especially some of you with your Student Senate budget, which we're going to talk about here on this slide, you have made the initiative to purchase some technology equipment. And so, that any purchases that you have questions about, or the implementation or whatever, certainly Andrew is so resourceful in that area. So let's just go ahead and look at the PowerPoint slide. Your Student Senate plan. Of course, all of you, and I think we have 2 people that are still making some minor adjustments to their Student Senate plan and budget. Okay, once the plan is approved and was sent back to you, then you posted it on the holler, and the majority of you did that prior to the last Firesummit in October. But since October, we have had a new school to come on, not new to KVEC, but new to Student Senate, and that's Lawrence County High School, and we're so glad to have Lawrence County students join us. They're going to do a fantastic job. I got an opportunity to go over and meet their majority leader as well as the 2 Student Senate members, and they are just going to do a phenomenal job. But I did refer them to several of you that are experienced and have done this for a while as a resource to help them come along. And so they may or may not present in the spring, April 12th, but they are building their plan and getting ready for implementation. But it was because of the good work that you guys did at the spring or at the fall summit that caused other schools to want to come on and set up Student Senate. So congratulations to you, and I'm very proud of you as always. So post your plan on theholler.org, and of course now you're in the time of the year with the implementation of your plan. And I know you seniors, because it's time to start applying to colleges and scholarships, you've got a lot on your hands, but your junior members, when we're in these lull days, when there's snow days, that would be a really good time to go over your plan to see where you are in the implementation of your plan. And then also your ambassadors council, or whatever it is that you call it, who is it that's next up for the activity in your building. So that having all been said, then your budget. Once you make purchases with your Student Senate money, make sure you save all those receipts, make copies of those receipts, and submit those receipts to all three of us. That way we have a backup copy and nothing gets maybe dropped through the cracks. Because when we have 34 districts emailing, sometimes, things can get overlooked. And so just go ahead and email those receipts for your budget purchases to all three of us. And then we will make sure that it gets submitted properly, and reimbursement will come to you. All right, so the next slide we have here is about our Ambassadors Council. What I'd like for you to do, especially if you've got that snow day, I would like for you, since we're not going to be coming with the Holler Boys as we originally thought to do these brief videos, I'd like for you to take pictures of the activities that have been implemented by the various clubs or class officers, groups, or whoever's leading the initiative. Take pictures and just do a brief little write-up, and make sure you identify that as work of the Student Senate through your Ambassadors Council, or whatever you choose to call your student body group that is improving school culture, academics, attendance, and behavior in your building. So any pictures, meeting times, and the reason I'm asking you to do these posts is because when we have new schools or school districts that have brand new Student Senate members, they can learn a lot just from visiting the Holler to see what you've posted and the kinds of activities that have been going on in your school. So if you could, let's try by the end of February at least to get your post on there about the work that your ambassador councils are doing through Student Senate. So that brings us to our next item. And these snow days are always a good time to work on planning for future events and activities. So our Fire Summit then will be on April 12th on a Wednesday at the Expo Center. In a very similar way that we've always had it before. And you will be planning a 10-minute presentation to talk about the work that you've done all year. Now, the way this is different than what we did in the fall is you will have to have a PowerPoint presentation to go along with your speaking presentation, if you will. And so I would like for you by March 30th, which is the end of March, that gives us about 3 weeks, to make sure that we can get all those PowerPoints put together and in the appropriate room and what have you. Make sure you email that PowerPoint to Andrew Castle, who puts all those together for the presenters at the Fire Summit. So if you have any questions about your PowerPoint, make sure you include pictures of implementation. If you have any videos of activities, the highlights of the good work that you're doing in your school, in your district, and how it has made an impact on the students in your district. So this is one thing that we want to talk about because this got a little bit messed up at the spring or at the fall Fire Summit. First of all, there will be a meeting. There's always a meeting at like 8:15 or 8:30 the day of the summit. It's in the upstairs boardroom. It will always be there. At that time, we will give you a folder. That folder will identify the room that you'll be in to facilitate, and it will identify the room that you'll be in to present. Now, guys, when you facilitate, we're putting a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. So if you're down to facilitate in the morning, that means you'll be in that room all morning until all 3 sessions are finished. So when the first session's over, that doesn't mean you're done. You'll have session 1, session 2, and session 3. Okay, and so we'll give you a program that has all the teachers listed that'll be presenting, the times that they'll be presenting. You'll also receive evaluations for the sessions. You'll also receive travel forms for the teachers that present that they have to fill out. So that's why there's 2 of you in there. One, it would be a full-time job just to introduce the speakers, and it'd be a full-time job for the other person to give the evaluation forms and to also give the travel forms. But all that will be given to you by us in that meeting at 8:30 that morning. So you have to be there. It's just imperative that you're there, because what happens when you're not, then you're kind of lost all day. And for the facilitation, it's so important that we have facilitators in there to do the job that we've asked them to do. If any of you have not joined Group Me, make sure that you send me a text. My phone number, of course, is always in my signature line. To give me your phone number so we can include you on the Group Me, because that's how we stay in touch with each other the day of the summit. Okay.
Kelly, I want to clarify one thing. It's April 11th.
What did I say?
12th. That was last
so sorry.
year. It's okay.
It's on a Wednesday, April 12th. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, absolutely. So then find out which concourse or which room you're going to be presenting in. And then, you can go attend other sessions. And here's another thing that I want to say. If you're scheduled to present at, 11 o'clock in the morning, why don't you spend the rest of the morning going to hear and support our other either student senate members to hear what they have going on, or find some teachers from your district that you can go listen to find out what those innovation projects are in your district. Couple times I've seen some student senate members kind of just hanging out in the hallway because you don't present till 11 o'clock, but you're there for that day to get as much information as you can possibly gain. I'm not fussing at you because I'm so proud of you and you guys do a great job, but I'm just saying to make it just a little more effective, if you when you're not presenting, if you'll go listen to other student senate members to get ideas of what you can do, or go listen to the teachers from your district so you can learn what they're doing. So then if you're presenting in the morning, then in that afternoon, again, you stay in that same room every session in the afternoon. It's like a whole block of time you're in there. So you have the morning to listen to sessions and present, you have the afternoon to facilitate, or vice versa. If you're facilitating all morning, then in the afternoon you'll present at a certain time, but then you'll be able to go listen to other presenters as well. And if you have any questions about that, just feel free to email or text or whatever you might want to do. All right, so this section in the PowerPoint talks about arriving at the Expo Center at 8:30 for our meeting, and it talks about the folders and what's in the folders and what you'll be able to do. And there are also, I put when facilitating down here, but there will be a page that says when you facilitate, and it will list specifically what you're supposed to do. I hit some highlights here that you'll use the program that you're given with your packet to introduce those presenters. There's a timer, and we always do a little timer demonstration in our morning meeting on how to set that timer. And some of you have cell phones, and that's okay, but it's important that we stay on time with those presentations, because people are live streaming, and if they see someone's going to present at 10 o'clock that they're interested in hearing, then when they log in at 10 o'clock, they expect to hear them. So it's up to you as facilitators to keep everyone on track so that they're presenting at the appropriate amount of time. Again, distributing those travel forms and evaluation forms, and then when you collect all of those, if you're a facilitator in the morning and you collect all of those that morning, find Bernadette and take those forms to her. And if you are a facilitator in the afternoon and you collect all those forms in the afternoon, find Bernadette and take those. That's why I wanted these two folks here with us, so that you know what to do with them. Don't leave them in the room, and don't expect someone else to find them, but collect them yourself if you would please, and take those to Bernadette. All right, so I want to talk to you about a few opportunities that are out there right now for the student body, and whether you're interested or not, it would be very beneficial to students in your building. We had talked earlier at the student induction ceremony, and all of you seem to come to an agreement that that the opioid crisis and epidemic that we have in our area affects every school in some way. Operation Unite, which has a website, and I'll send this to you in email, but they have this mobile unit that comes around and does some drug resistance education for class or students in schools. So you as a student senate member might want to take the initiative to schedule that for your school, or go to your principal and say, could we schedule this, or your guidance counselor, or whoever takes care of that. But it wouldn't hurt for you to initiate that, because there's good information in there that everyone could use. In addition to that, Operation Unite provides a college scholarship. So some of the students in your school, there's our on the move, that's our school culture, and our Unite scholarship, that's our academic portion. So, there's scholarships there. I also want to mention the Lieutenant Governor's competition that's in March. Some of your schools participated in our KVEC High School Entrepreneurial Project, and we had 3 the first, second, and third place projects were phenomenal. The first place was Knott County, and then we had Hazard Independent and Phelps High School. Those projects were phenomenal, and any support that you can give those students, or any other student that has a project that might want to compete in the Lieutenant Governor's Entrepreneurial Competition, that's an opportunity for scholarships as well. We talked to you about Teen Science Cafe, and I know Pikeville High School reached out to us about potentially beginning to work with Teen Science Cafe. I have emails that I will forward you regarding Teen Science Cafe if any of you are interested. Dr. Katrina Sloan, and that's Katrina with a K, Katrina Sloan at hazard.kyschools.us. She is our contact for that, and I'm sure she would be happy to assist you with Teen Science Cafe. Operation Ordinary, we talked a long time about that. When we have our groups come together for our ambassador councils meeting, often the FMD units don't have representation there. So all of our ambassador councils, we hope, are planning some sort of event or activity for the FMD unit, or students in the FMD unit at your school. So if you have any questions about Operation Ordinary, there's a fabulous project that is going on at Johnson County Middle School. Mrs. Pam Burton, which would be pam.burton at Johnson, which would be your contact for that. Or if you have questions, Andrew is from Johnson County and could help you out with that as well. All right, this was just intended to be a very brief video that you can refer back to if you have questions about any of those topics or issues that we spoke of earlier. Just wanted to make sure that you had their contact information in addition to mine. Remember, GroupMe is an important way that we communicate during the Fire Summit. So Bernadette, Andrew, do you have anything you want to add?
I'll give them my cell phone number because they might need to call me or something. It's 606-776-9930, and please feel free to call me anytime you have a question.
Okay, perfect. Andrew? All right, so great. Glad you watched all the way through to the end of this video, and if you need to refer back to it, it's of course on theholler.org, and you have access at your convenient time. So have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.